Hi, and welcome to the Crit Hit Wild podcast, where we cover all things Marvel Crisis Protocol, and we do a new character every week. This week, we're going to be talking about Tigra, and I'm your host, Fred.
I'm Brad.
I'm Brandon.
And I'm Daniel.
Hello, guys. Hello, Daniel. How is everybody today? How are you doing today, Daniel?
I'm doing well. I'm having a pretty good weekend, and I don't know. It's been good vibes.
That's good to hear. Daniel is someone that we are having on to discuss an upcoming event and to discuss another. Oh boy, I'm already messing this up. A segment that we have later on. Do you want to introduce yourself, Daniel, or do you want us to just continue forward?
I can introduce myself a little bit. So my name's Daniel Cruz. I'm from the Toledo, Ohio area. I run a league and do all of our tournaments out of Old School Gaming in technically in Maumee, but the Toledo area. And so I came on to kind of talk about we got an event coming up on the 25th. We have 4 spots left, so I thought this would be a good opportunity to put this out into the ether in case anyone wants to make the trip to the Toledo, Ohio area and make some good times and roll some dice with us.
Excellent. I hope that we can fill those 4 spots for you. How are you doing today, Brad?
I'm doing just great. Fabulous.
I kind of skipped past this. We also have Brandon on the podcast for the first time in a while. How are you doing out there, Brandon?
I'm not actually real. It's fine. I don't know.
It's like
Yeah,
we
I'm doing
have.
good.
It's like we have 2 guests on today.
I know. It's been a long time. I have a new job and it keeps me rather busy, unfortunately.
Yes, I understand entirely. I've not had a day off since our last record. I've been working every single day, so I get having
Where are
a
you?
change.
Never mind.
Where am I? I'm in Louisiana, bud.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
thought it was. I thought that's where I thought you were, but I was like, why would he be there?
Well, I don't want to get into it on record
Yeah, no.
because they're. But yeah, it's complicated and difficult. But I'm here, and it's been a long 2 weeks, and I think that we should just hop right into it. So let's start by talking about upcoming events. Hey, Daniel, why don't you tell us about this event that's coming up?
Like I said, we run a league, and at the end of every league, we'll do a tournament. So if you look it up on Longshanks, it just says OSG Season 5 Tournament. OSG meaning Old School Gaming. That's the name of the store. Um, we have 18 of 22 players signed up so far. And it's just a normal tournament, $10 entry fee. We do store credit payouts to the top half, and then we do all kinds of participation prizes you can pick from. We've got like comics. My mom makes these really cool dice bags that we give out. We have pods of paint because Monument Hobbies gives us pods of paint that we can give out as prizes for things. And then other various promos that we probably have laying around. So it's always a good time, and even if you don't win, you go away with something, which is always nice. And that is this upcoming Saturday the 25th. It starts at 11 a.m. You can come as early as about 10:15, 10:30 to start registering.
So what you're
That
saying
sounds
is,
great.
What you're saying is, like, we could have bribed you for a free dice bag for letting you on the podcast.
Yeah,
We really
yeah.
dropped the
Honestly,
ball here, guys.
you can still do that.
Oh, never mind. Hold on. I retract half my statement.
Look, I basically run a sweatshop in my mom's house getting these dice bags made, so I got plenty.
Boy, we're finding out about all sorts of things about our guest. All right. Well, so if you are in the Ohio area, the entire
Yeah.
state of Ohio, I expect 4 of you to join in this tournament because it sounds really fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also,
So
Michigan, right? Toledo's super close to Michigan.
Yeah, we're
I'm
not
not
far
crazy,
from
right?
Michigan.
Yeah, it's like
So
on
like I
the.
said, technically Old School Gaming is in Maumee, so it's a little bit further south than Toledo, but it's depending on where you're at in Michigan, like it's maybe 45 minutes from you probably. We actually do have a couple people coming who do regularly come from Michigan for our tournaments, so
Yeah, so
um
Michigan,
yeah.
Ohio, Indiana, no excuses. You got to be there.
Yeah, it's a good time.
Yeah, because Fort. Well, if I'm thinking of the map of Ohio, right? Neither
Yeah.
Detroit and Fort Wayne are both, and Ann Arbor are all within like an hour and a half, right?
Ann Arbor's a little bit further north or a little bit further, but yeah, Detroit, it's like an hour, 20-minute drive. Fort Wayne's like probably an hour and a half. I've driven further than that for stuff, so you've got no
Yeah,
excuse.
yeah. I was gonna say it's all pretty big cities are pretty close.
Yeah,
Did you
Yeah.
say that your event was on the 25th, as in the
25th.
Saturday?
Yeah,
26th? Oh, okay. Speaking of Fort Wayne, on the 26th of October, there is a tournament in Fort Wayne called the Rumble on the Rivers. It is a one-day event at the Grand Wayne Centurin, and it is on the 26th. And if you are in that general area again, that also sounds like a good time.
Yeah,
So
when
head
you
on
get your
down to
butt
that one.
kicked in Toledo, go get some redemption in Fort Wayne.
yeah,
Exactly.
that sounds perfect.
uh, Also, coming up in November, there is a tournament on the 8th of November at Recess Games in North Olmsted, Ohio. This is the next Appalachian Cup qualifier. So come on down and participate
It
in the App Cup.
it is full.
Never mind. uh, were there only like 16 slots?
Yes, there's
Is
only
that
16 slots.
that is okay? I guess they have a limited space. That okay. Well,
Fred, we are the only two from this area going.
oh boy, oh boy. Okay.
When is that? I
November the
know.
8th.
I could have
Well,
probably done that.
well, Brandon, you're too late. You
Yep,
failed.
can't make it.
There's not a spot for you.
But Brad knows something that I signed up for.
Oh, yeah. That's the next thing Fred's going to talk about.
Speaking of which, on the 15th is a tournament of the 15th of November is a tournament at Lost Legion Games and Comics in South Charleston, West Virginia. This is our local game store, and this is just a local tournament. It's usually a very small affair, but we are happy to see anyone else join us. So if you are in the area, please come down and play some games. And those are the events that I have on my calendar coming up. Let's talk about games we've played recently. I can go first. I have zero. I have nothing. I've been in Louisiana. Brandon, do I dare ask you?
I played a game with Greg and Todd. We played the
Okay.
Unstoppable Colossus. What are those things called?
Ultimate Encounter.
We played that, and it was rather fun and rather difficult.
Okay. Did you
There is a
did you enjoy it?
challenge. It was fun. The Ultimate Encounter is really fun. This one is set up where you have four things you have to try to protect, and Colossus just runs into them and destroys them, and then runs to the next one. And he gets like a ton of dice on his attacks. You can't actually do really anything to him. You have to kill him like 3 times for him to actually do anything. Um, so it's tricky, but it's fun. It's a fun one. We are probably playing the symbiote one next. So
I have played the symbiote one. It is indeed pretty fun.
yeah, we're gonna try to. That's how we're trying to. We've got Todd into it, and we're gonna try to get some of the other Hero Clicks players into it. And I think the Ultimate Encounters will make that a little bit more likely. I think
Okay.
it's easier to get people in when they're having kind of like a free for all fun game, and you can see multiple people playing, especially if they're used to playing like Hero Clicks.
Yeah, with characters that they recognize and yeah. Daniel, do you have any games that you want to talk about that you've played recently?
Yeah, I guess I'll sort of briefly touch on. I have been trying to play test the new Web Warriors because I play a lot of Web Warriors. So on Friday, I played in my buddy's basement with him, and it turns out Spider-Man Noir's Spider Sleuth card is very, very good on pay to flips. I mean, we already knew this, but it really helped me turn the corner when I started from behind, and I ended up crushing him, which felt really good.
Okay. Another Web Warriors player. Oh boy. Are you as excited as everyone else for the coming box or
I'm
boxes?
really, really excited. I plan on continuing to play Miles as leadership just because that's what I know the most and I've been most comfortable with, and it fits my play style. So the main ones I'm looking at sort of fitting into that list are Silk, Noir, and Spider Ham, and so far I've been really impressed.
Yeah. I mean, you couldn't go wrong with any of those three. Those three are excellent.
Yeah, yeah, they're all really good.
Yeah. Brad, do you have any games that you want to talk about?
Sure, I played 2 games this week. I played Brotherhood against Memphis, and I ended up playing um, Magneto, Juggernaut, Exodus, and I painted up. I had painted up Avalanche, so I played him, and of course he was the first one to die. Uh,
Of course.
this game was against. He was playing Midnight Suns, and he actually. So Memphis, for the people listening, has been playing the same 3 extracts and 3 secures since he started playing this game because they were the ones that came in the box. Today, this game was the first time he had actually printed out some scenarios to play. So he's a grown up boy now, and uh, I ran away with the game early on. Like it was cubes and intrusions, and I scored all but 1 point the first turn and maybe all the points the second turn. Maybe we tied a game, tied on the second one or whatever. I was ahead. I think it was 12-1 at one point. And then he put on his big boy pants and he fought back, and the game ended 16-13 or something like that. He did a really good job once he was behind playing to catch up.
Holy moly. Okay,
Yeah.
you said
Wow,
16
yeah.
to 13.
Yeah.
Is, who won? I'm going to give Memphis some credit. He played well. Did
I
he beat
ended
you?
up winning, but it was a
Okay.
crawl to the finish line as he raced up behind me.
Yeah.
I,
Well, good
I
for
would have
Memphis.
done, I would have done a lot for that to have been the Memphis comeback story of the year.
Oh yeah, it wasn't
That would have
quite
been
though.
pretty incredible.
It would have been if it
Okay.
was Fred.
Yeah, if I were playing instead of Brad, it would have
Yeah.
been Memphis would have beaten me by 3 points. You're probably right. Okay, Brad, did you say that you had another game,
I
Brad, or was
did.
that?
So the
Yeah.
second game I played was a demo game of Halo Flashpoint, which has almost the exact same rules as Mantic's Dead Zone game because it's made by Mantic. That game rules. In fact, since then I have bought the Alien starter set, the
Oh my gosh.
Rise of the Banished. It's the
Oh, the
Banished. Yeah.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
They don't have Covenant in the game yet, but they do have Banished.
Yeah,
I don't know that
of
much
course.
about Halo. This game rules. It's a good game, and it plays very quickly, and it's on a very small table, so we can sit at the normal tables and play.
So this is another game that I have to get into, is what you're telling me.
You don't have to, but you should.
So I have played every single Halo game, including some of the.
If you like Halo,
So-
you're gonna love this game.
I've also read a lot of the books, so I do have to play this game.
Yeah, it's
If it is
Thankfully-
good, I have to play.
They have they only have a couple starter sets. That's how you get the thing. So like when you get it, you have, and 2 of them come. I think they all come with like terrain and everything,
Yes.
and like dice and everything to play. So getting it isn't like getting most other games where you have to buy a bunch of things. Like it's all packaged, and I actually think there may be a painted version of the starter sets.
no. that was a Kickstarter thing, I think.
Was it a Kickstarter thing?
Yeah.
'Cause I know we had painted version when it came out at the boardroom.
It's it's a good game. It's a
Okay,
good
then.
game.
Well, speaking about games that have been played recently, uh, we would be remiss if we didn't talk about the existence of Second Wind, and that it just wrapped up today, or as of the day of record. Uh, is there anything that we want to talk about? So obviously we couldn't participate for multiple reasons. I'm in Louisiana, and yeah, but Brad, is there what happened? Like,
All I
who won
know, yeah,
second win?
all I know is Johnny Pastrami won the whole thing with an apocalypse list.
Of course, it's Apocalypse.
Uh,
Of
and,
course.
and humans finished second.
Yes.
Alex Bots finished third with Midnight Suns. And then it was Hydra, Web Warriors, Convocation, Inhumans, Web Warriors to round out the top 8.
Hydra. Interesting.
So I want
The
to take a small, just a tiny bit of credit for Johnny winning this event because I played a fairly close game. I felt like on my end, maybe he felt like he dunked me. I don't know. I felt like I played a pretty good Apocalypse game against him last year at the event.
Yeah, you're not
Are
getting
you
any
saying
credit for
you
that.
convinced him to play
Yeah, I think
Apocalypse?
I convinced him to play Apocalypse, right?
There are some fun statistics that I would like to quickly.
Oh, go ahead.
There
Our
are.
Hey everybody, our statistics guy. Oh, I can't even speak. He's back. Brandon's back.
That is what I do here. All right, so there were 50 lists submitted. Can you guess the number one character played?
It's it's got to be
Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi.
Daniel?
I I would think it's also Shang-Chi, but the fact that you asked me that after they already said it makes me think it's not.
Nope, you're all correct. There was
Okay.
no.
Yeah.
Can you guess the number of people who did not play Brace for Impact in their list?
0?
0.
One.
The answer is 2.
Oh.
Okay.
2.
50 lists submitted, 48 had Brace for Impact. And for the funnest part, the number one Crisis played, can you guess it? The number one Secure. The number one extract has been the same for ages at this point. I'm not going to make you guess that.
Oh, the number one secure?
Number one-
Oh, I don't know, because I was going to guess an extract.
The number one
Secure.
Crisis is a Secure. It's not an extract.
Weird.
I'm gonna just throw out a guess of Mcron because I know people like that one lately.
That's
Daniel,
a good
thanks for
guess.
participating. Fred, you're up.
That's
I'm gonna just troll and say alien ship.
that's not
I
even
don't.
secure.
That's not even a secure. That's not even a secure.
Yeah.
Infinity Formula. That's gonna be what I say.
I think Mcron's correct.
There were 13 people who played Infinity Formula. Only 4 people played Alien Ship, for the record. Second lowest in the event. The number one was Mcrat at 27 players.
Yeah.
Well, there you
that's
go.
a lot.
I think I think the extracts are probably the more probably worrisome thing that happened here. Because the number 2 at 25 people was Fear Grips, which is not at all surprising. Yeah. And then right underneath it at 21 is Inhumans Deploy Advanced Weaponry. And then Scientific Samples is next at 20, and then Deadly Legacy at 20. So of the top 5, 4 of them are extracts, and they're all... So there aren't a ton of variety in the extracts being played. Almost the rest of the list is the rest of the secures, and obviously a couple extracts sprinkled in, but having that many people playing, 4 of them feels kind of high. But character-wise, there's no real surprises. 7 people played Carnage. Um, which
Oh,
is
nice.
probably just people figuring out that he's really good now. I think we figured that out, or we tested that and kind of had that understanding pretty early on after his update, that he can be a problem. And there's no real surprise on the team tactics cards besides like specific character tactics cards. Um, Otherwise, there's nothing really. Reserve members had 5 people play it. That was the only one that was kind of confusing, but otherwise,
Okay.
but there were the most people that played in the event. The most affiliated games were by Avengers players, and there were 6 people who played Avengers, and that was the most in the event. So there was a pretty good spread. Only 5 affiliations not played. None of them really a shocker. One of
Sentinels.
Sentinels is one of them.
Winter Guard.
Nope.
Oh.
2 people
Okay.
played Winter Guard.
Oh, good for them. Okay.
This Second Wind always has a prize for the top in a faction, so you kind of are incentivized to play something different.
Yeah, that's true.
7 people were the only people who played the affiliation. One of those is very surprising. Actually, 2 of them. I don't. 3 of them were actually pretty.
Hold
surprising.
on, we're on a different. Let's not confuse
Sentinels,
the situation.
continue.
We're trying to figure. Okay, Convocation.
No, I just told you Convocation was in the top 8. So
Oh, yeah, he said that.
Yeah, you did. So when I
Thanks for
say
paying
Hydra, you would also say that you just told me.
Yep. There are 2 people who played each of those. Only 2 people played Apocalypse in the event.
And they
That's
played
surprising
first
to me.
round. They played each other first round.
Oh.
That sucks.
How about Emma Frost's Hellfire Club?
Nope. 1 person played Hellfire Club.
Oh
That is
my
one of
god!
the-
Really?
All right, what? Someone else guess. I'm missing.
I don't know. I'm trying to think. None of them seem that unplayable to me, but I play a lot of garbage.
2 of them are mutant. 2 other ones are mutant affiliations.
Weapon X is one of the least played, right?
Yes. Weapon X was
and
not played,
New Mutants probably.
and New Mutants was not played.
There you go.
You're missing the most surprising, and the other one used to be in year 1 and 2. This was probably the number 1 affiliation in the entire game.
The Black Order.
Black Order.
It is Black Order.
Oh,
No one played
there it
Black
is.
Order. The last one is a new affiliation that you can take any model in. And it's not one that I play all the time.
It's
Is it
Mephisto.
the Mephisto one?
It is the Legion
That one
of the
seems
Lost.
fine.
Yeah.
That's the most surprising of the 5 to me.
Hmm.
That one I would assume someone wanted, because Mephisto saw a decent amount of play in this event. Like, he was in lists. So
Everyone's
Well,
playing
I-
him with Shadowland Daredevil as the leader.
there were 3 Criminal Syndicate players, all of which had both Kingpin and Shadowland Daredevil, because for some reason it took people this long to realize Shadowland Daredevil is a good model. Anyway, there are 7 affiliations that only saw 1 person. Hellfire Club was 1. The 3 surprising ones were Shield, Guardians of the Galaxy, and Asgard. Only each had 1 player.
Guardians of the Galaxy having only 1 player
That's
is wild. That's
Shield's
that's
wild
the-
to me. I feel like we have a lot of Shield players in our local meta. People really love it.
Yeah,
I mean,
that,
Shield's great too.
Guardians
Yeah.
were the one that sparked that. That only 1 person, and the Asgard player may have been like a person playing Asgard as a splash, because it was only 1 game. So there's a chance that wasn't even like a person playing Asgard. The other ones were Dormammu, X Force, and A Force.
Hmm.
So, but Shield and Guardians felt very surprising to me.
I agree.
That did not cross boxes in my head. Those would be only like 1 person playing them. But really good spread. Obviously, like Brad mentioned, this event does incentivize you to bring some stuff. Like I said, the most played was 6 with Avengers, which is not never surprising to lead. Web Warriors and Midnight Suns each had 5. Um, Spider Foes, Wakanda, Inhumans, Defenders at 4, Criminal Syndicate at 3, Convocation, Apocalypse, Cabal, Brotherhood, Winter Guard, Hydra, Dracula at 2. 3 people played X-Men, but only for 6 games, so I do think those were some splash players.
The one of those
Uh,
X-Men is Johnny, who never actually played X-Men. He didn't even have a leader
yeah.
in his list, but he marked that he was playing X-Men.
Well, it said there were 6 games played as X-Men.
Yeah, well, none of them were him. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah, I do. Yeah, and so there's 2 people who probably played a couple games, and they're probably splashes, if I had to guess. It looks like the Hellfire Club was splashing X-Men as well. Anyway,
That makes sense.
that's
Okay.
those are the
Well,
fun facts from the event.
that's our second win corner. I'm sorry that we couldn't attend. Hopefully next year we will be present. All right. Well, so we have a tournament coming up at our local game store, and there's a thing that's happening with our tournaments. There have been more people recently, but we still never get into the double digits of players unless it's an App Cup qualifier, and even then, it's just barely. And
16 is not just
I,
barely.
hey, I'm trying to make a point here, Brett. So how do we expand our our footprint? How do we get more people to play games in this game that we all love, this Marvel Crisis Protocol? Daniel, I have a question for you. How do we do this?
Yeah.
How do you get as many people as you get?
Yeah. So for some background on why he's asking me that question, like I said, we run the league out of Old School Gaming. We've done it for 5 sessions now. The lowest number of members we've had was 12. The most we've had was 18. And in all, we've had, I think, 22 different players because some people, they do one, but then they do the next because, life is busy. So we honestly have a really, really big community. And I kind of figured to sort of help spread the word on how to build a good community, I'd kind of go step by step through all of the things that got us to where we are today, because it's not like it happened overnight. It's kind of been a thing for the last 4 or 5 years that we've kind of slowly been going towards, and it kind of exploded within the last year for us. Um, but the first thing I have some highlights written down. So if I start getting rambling on, tell me to move on to the next thing. I tend to ramble at times. But the first thing I have written down are 2 things that will give you an advantage. And those 2 things are having a lot of gamers in your area and just having friends in general. So the 2 ways that we had those advantages is that, so I keep saying I'm from the Toledo area. Old School Gaming specifically is where I do everything. Within 30 minutes of Old School Gaming, there are 6 other game stores. So gaming in the Toledo area it's very popular. It's a hotbed for gamers. So there are always people looking to get into new games and looking to play games, etc. And
Well,
then I used to.
I'm gonna stop you there, and I'm gonna say that Charleston's already out. We're already in trouble in this.
I'm not saying
But
it's a requirement. I'm just saying that's one of the things that's going to be a huge advantage for you, right?
yeah.
I
Okay,
acknowledge that has been a huge advantage for us.
keep going. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah, no, you're fine. Feel free to interrupt anytime. But then the other thing, having friends. So I used to work at Old School Gaming full time for a while, right after college, and so by working there full time, I just kind of continued to meet more and more people who played games. And then also got my friends who weren't really gamers to play more games. So if you just have a really good social network of gamers or people who are willing to play games, that's going to help you too. So for example, when we started out, 2 other employees there taught me how to play Marvel Crisis Protocol. So right there, okay, we started with 3. Well, then there was a group of about 4 guys who regularly played games at the shop. They were longtime regulars. They usually get into games together, play board games together, etc. So we got all of them on board, and all of a sudden we more than doubled our numbers. We're at 7, and then and this isn't the exact order everything happened, but I individually have 4 friends that weren't playing before that I have now convinced them to play. So that's 11 right there. So just on starting with 3 people in my social network, we went from 3 people to about 11 people pretty quickly, and that was just playing casual games. But so that kind of takes me to like the step by step. Is step one is just learning how to play yourself. So if you are out there listening to this podcast for some reason and you've never played before, I highly encourage you to learn how to play. But then right after that, the next step is to start running demos, whether it be just for your friends or demos that you promote on social media at your local game store. Start running demos and just trying to get people in to play the game casually with you, if you can. And then once you have a handful of people, the next step after that is to set up a line of communication. So social media is really, really good for that. We, for the longest time, just used Facebook, but now we've started to branch out and use Discord more and more. But so if you go to the store's Facebook page, Old School Gaming, there's a bunch of different gaming groups that are linked with it. And so we have a Facebook group directly linked to the store, specifically for Marvel Crisis Protocol. And every time any of us played a casual game together, when we were done playing, we would take a picture. We call it a team picture, of all the characters that we used that game, and we'd post it in there and say, "Hey, just got done playing so and so. We played, Avengers versus Defenders or whatever the heck it was, and so won." And the huge advantage of this is if anyone comes into the store, they start asking about the game, we have somewhere to actually show them and say, "Hey, people are playing this game. Look at all these games that people have been getting in recently." So visibility like that is really, really good. And then also being able to use the Facebook page to direct people to say, "Hey, if you want to learn how to play this game, post in the Facebook page. Though someone will respond to you and someone will teach you how to play." Does that all make sense so far? Like I said, feel free to interrupt if I'm rambling a bit.
It definitely makes sense. That's something that so we have. Oh boy, we have a server on Discord that we use, but it's mostly people that we know. Like it
Right.
is not. It's not a. People need to be invited, so it's kind of not a way to get new people. We have to know them, and then also that like we haven't run demos in a very long time. That would be a good idea for us to do.
We did have a
Yeah.
demo night, and I think Memphis played that night. It was either his first or second game, something like
Oh,
that.
okay.
We
Okay,
did have a
so
demo
that
night.
was a success.
That
We
was
succeeded.
advertised, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so my sort of hand-in-hand recommendation for those two things is like really utilize social media. So like I don't know if your local game store has a Facebook page, but try and link a Facebook group to it specifically for Marvel Crisis Protocol. And then if they don't have a Discord, like that's the thing is we also like the Discord that we use is specifically Old School Gaming, like the store, has a whole Discord, and then we are just one channel on that Discord where people can interact and mingle on there as well. So having things that are like forward facing and associated with the store, and like the Discord link is available at the store when you walk in. If you can get that set up, that's a really huge advantage because people don't have to talk to you directly. They can then go to those places and use those avenues to then get a hold of you, to try and get into the game. So advertising like that is it's kind of a huge thing. And that goes for any game too. Like if you're listening to this and you are interested in, I don't know, getting Kill Team leagues started at your store, or they mentioned Halo Flashpoint, like you can use this for any game. Like I said, we have multiple channels on our Discord and we have multiple Facebook groups linked to Old School Gaming's Facebook page, and that's a really good way to get the word out and start communicating with people about the games you want to try and learn. Um, but so then once you have people who have learned the game and are trying to play semi-regularly, interacting in these social media spaces, try to figure out a regular meetup day. And my biggest recommendation for this as well is try and make it a weekday. People are already going to be playing on weekends. If you have a regular weekday that you know that people can show up, there are random people who it happens that they work weekends, unfortunately. So having a weekday available also that they can show up and know that they're going to be people there, that's going to be a big help as well to try and get more and more people involved.
That
Um, yeah,
that is a great one. I completely agree. Like a weekday night, our normal game night is on a Thursday night, and that's a
yeah,
perfect time for a gaming night. We can hang out, and the store is not packed. There's plenty of space for us to hang out and play games. And also, it's available. Most people are free that night that would be
yeah.
interested in playing the game. So
Yeah, we
it's
started out on Tuesdays and it was like every Tuesday you knew people were going to be there. If you were the kind of person who couldn't make it on Tuesday for whatever reason, hey, that's fine. It's people are still available on the weekends, right? Just post on the Facebook page and someone will be able to play with you on a Saturday still. So having the weekday as like your consistent people will be here on this day, that's a really good way to get people in that maybe can't make it on the weekend or don't have the time on the weekends because they have kids and sports and all that stuff. Um,
all right.
So then once you have people semi-regularly meeting up, it'll start off pretty strong. Like in my experience with any game I've ever tried to get a group or a community for, it always starts off strong when people are like at their peak interest for the game. Eventually, it will start to dwindle, right? If you know that people are going to be there every single Tuesday, you aren't quite as urgently going to rush out every single Tuesday. And so when we first started doing Tuesdays, we would have 6, 7, 8 people there on a Tuesday, and that was awesome. Towards the end, we started to dwindle down to where we'd have like maybe 2, 3, or 4 people there on Tuesdays. Still cool, you're still getting games in, but it's not quite what we were looking for. So once you sort of notice that trend where you know you have a lot of players, but maybe they aren't all showing up every single Tuesday like they used to, that's when you want to start and get the ball rolling and start a league. So the way that we did our league when we first started it is, again, always promote things on social media. But then a couple weeks before the league, we did another demo, and we promoted that on social media and said, hey, are you interested in this game? We're going to be doing a league for it soon. Come in, learn it, and then if you like it, join our league. You'll continue to have people to play with. The nice thing about that is, when we decided to run our league, we didn't want to have it as you show up on Tuesday and you play your league match on Tuesday. We had it as show up any day that you and your opponent can make work out and play your game. And the nice thing about that is if you go into old school gaming on any given night, like there's about a 75% chance that you will be seeing somebody playing Marvel Crisis Protocol because people are just working into their schedules and making sure that they get their one game in a week. I heard someone about to say something.
So leagues are such a great plan, but leagues require an organizer,
Yes,
or
well,
perhaps just an organizing ethos. Is there
yeah.
like Brad has so consistently been our organizer for things, and I do not want to ask him to do more work than he already does. Like
Yeah, I
Brad,
totally get that. You
He
kind of just have
doesn't.
to have someone bite the bullet, and that's just kind of always been me for our community.
okay.
um,
Like,
truth be told, though, if you can get a few people who maybe can coordinate it, take turns, do whatever. The nice thing is, I have a good relationship with I don't work there anymore full time. I technically get my employee discount just because I run the league, so they call me an employee. But I have a good relationship with all the actual employees there. So I can shoot them a text, shoot them a message, whatever. If there's something I need them to do, maybe print out match slips or something that I just don't have time to run into the store and do. They can do that for me. And then other than that, I just make all the matchups on pen and paper at home and post them on social media. So it's really not a ton of effort, other than if I need to go into the store and do things. But even then, like I said, I just get the employees to do it for me.
A league. I mean,
I feel like you're letting
Brandon,
Brad off the hook here.
Brandon, you are in a league right now, correct? But it's not an MCP league.
I run a Warhammer 40K Crusade that has about 30 people in it.
Yeah.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah, I don't listen. I'm not volunteering for this. I do this, and I have like 3 spreadsheets, and I have everyone in the league. We have 29. Oh no, we have 30 people that have signed up. I have all of their weekly schedules, so I don't schedule people against each other who can't play each other. It is divided into 3 teams, so I have everybody in teams. We have a website that records the league play. There is a feature on Longshanks, however, to set a league up,
There
and it
is.
will schedule people
It
weekly.
does no.
Yes.
That's not how leagues and longshanks work. Leagues and
I
longshanks
know that there is a
work.
league feature on there.
Yeah, you can add people to a league, and anyone can play each other and just record their games. It does not schedule. If you want
Yeah.
something to schedule rounds,
I was in one on Longshanks, and there was a round setup. but it
okay,
may have
then
just
they
been
they
like
ran
me.
it as an unrated tournament to get pairings. If you want to force pairings,
That's probably how.
that's how you have to do it on Longshanks.
Yeah.
It was,
I've looked
it
into
was a
doing it
rated
on one.
event.
Well, it could be a rated event, whatever. It wasn't a league, is the point.
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
set up. It's set up. I'm trying to see how it's set up. I pulled it up. It's rated. It's set up as a rated tournament. He probably
Yeah.
had to remake the rounds every week.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
Longshanks doesn't really work for the way that I do the league. simply because one of my big points about starting a league, if you're going to try and build your community, is you don't want it to be hyper competitive. You want to try and make it as equitable as possible for everybody. So I have like a bunch of like very goofy and thematic bonus points that I try and encourage people to do. Because what I don't want is I don't want a very good player to show up with their very good list every single week and constantly get paired against people who are maybe more casual, maybe playing goofier stuff because they're big comic book fans, not necessarily big gaming fans, and then they get discouraged and they get crushed every single week. So I do, when we do a bonus point if you play at least 4 different, because we do the league for 6 weeks. So if you play at least 4 different leaders throughout the week, you get a bonus point for that. I made a challenge sheet where there was all kinds of goofy challenges. Like one of them was just called touchdown. It's basically a freebie. If you get somebody with an extra token into your opponent's deployment zone, you score a touchdown and you get a point for that week. Random things like that. And so like trying to use Longshanks for all that, it's like either way, I end up doing a lot of it by hand with pen and paper because of the match slips, which I know sounds daunting, but it's really not that bad. You can do it in an afternoon most of the time.
I'm not volunteering myself, is all I'm saying.
Daniel, you are great for a community. I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah, I mean, it also helps that like if you have a lot of support from the game store too, like it's really great that so I like I said I used to work there. I'm good personal friends with the owner now too. He's really good about supporting us with all kinds of different surprise support. His big thing is he's not trying to make money off of any one given event or make money off of the league. He is trying to make money by having people want to come back over and over again. So like I said, I mentioned that we have like dice bags and comics and things like that we give out. That's another really good way to make it equitable for the players who maybe aren't super competitive and they're more casual. Worst case scenario, you paid $10 to have 6 different people to play against over a course of 6 weeks, and then you also get some cool free stuff. So that
Swag.
is, yeah, you get some swag. And we again, AMG sends us promos and things like that, and we give those as ways too. So that's why I would recommend starting a league though. And the biggest point about starting a league for me too is you capture more players in a league than you do with tournaments. So I mentioned that we have 18 to 22 slots to fill up for this tournament. The biggest reason for that is I've started to do more networking out of town, and I've got more out of town people coming in to our tournaments. Most of the time, even when we have 16, 18 people in the league, we only get 8 people to show up to a tournament, and that's because most of the people who are playing in the league, they don't want to play competitively. They don't want to set aside an entire day to play multiple games. They like that they, again, are paying $10 to have 6 different people to play against, one a week for 6 weeks. So that's one of the things that makes it really that is really useful about a league is you capture more of the casual players versus the competitive, and therefore you have more and more people to play against. And then I have more fun because I could just show up with Web Warriors every single week, but I really don't play that much Web Warriors in the league. I am doing goofy stuff like I played Apocalypse, but that season I did a side mission where Cyclops was a rogue agent, and whoever scored the most points was Cyclops on extracts. What did I give away? I gave away something for free. I forget. Oh, it was the acrylic Cyclops promo card. I did not win it. But so I splashed Cyclops in a bunch of like mutant villain teams. One of them was Apocalypse. It was like his betrayal arc. So I played Apocalypse down a horseman with Cyclops, just for the sake of like having fun and doing the goofy thing in the league. So like if you can encourage things like that, you're gonna have a lot more casual players and more comic book fans who are gonna have a lot of fun with your league.
I'm gonna say this. You just made Brad the happiest person on the planet by saying
Daniel,
that
I
last
don't know
anecdote.
how much you know about comics, but there was an event called Apocalypse the 12, where Apocalypse gathered these
Okay.
12 people he was trying to ascend to godhood or something. At the end of that event, when Apocalypse dies, his soul goes into Scott Summers, and he becomes the new Apocalypse.
That's
So
incredible. I did not know that. I know
very,
less about
very
comics than
fitting.
you, but more than Fred.
Oh, okay. Well, there's a big gap there. So
I mean, there's a big gap. I do regularly read comics though. Shout out Monarch Comics in Toledo, Ohio. That's my local comic store I go to.
All right. Well, I really appreciate all of these tips to grow our player base. I think that the league one is a great idea, but
Yeah.
and the simplest one is we should just create a Facebook group or some sort of social media presence that exists with the Lost Legion. Lost Legion being our local game store, the Lost Legion Facebook page.
Yeah. I would say doing that, and then that would be, it makes it easier for you to then promote, your events, a league that you want to run, any demos that you're running, things like that. And then like it kind of just becomes wash, rinse, repeat at that point. Like I said, our event is called OSG Season 5 Tournament, and the reason I do that is because I kind of view it all as an 8-week cycle. So I mentioned our league runs for 6 weeks. Well, then we do a tournament, and then usually sometime after the tournament, I do another demo, and then boom, kick right back into the league. So it's usually more than 8 weeks because there's a few gaps in between some of those things. But it's essentially 8 different things that we do. 6 weeks of league play, 1 week where there's a tournament, and then I try and do another demo in between before I start the league back up again. So once you get that consistent rhythm and you have other people who are playing and kind of help you with that, like I don't have to be at every demo. We have plenty of local players who can run the demo for me as long as we promote it. You're going to draw on a lot more players that way.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Daniel.
Yeah.
Brad and Brandon, do either of you have any thoughts, any thing you want to bring up, or should we just move forward?
I don't, but I don't have any comments. Don't have any questions. I just have a statement that I'm really glad we brought you on this episode. You've given me some ideas.
Yeah, I'm glad. That's not to shout out another podcast, but it's like a year ago or so, a little more than a year ago, the Danger Room did a similar topic, and that's kind of what inspired me to start running the league and whatnot and getting more players in. And it's been a big, really, really good thing. So if I could come on to your guys' podcast and maybe inspire somebody else out there, I was willing to do that and wanting to do that. So
Absolutely, and thank you very much for doing so. All right. Well, I think that we should move on to the person that we are covering here today. That person being Tigra,
Fred.
otherwise known. Oh,
Fred.
yes.
It's pronounced Tigra.
Yeah. I hate you so much. I want the record to state. So before the podcast, I was debating with Brad whether it's pronounced Tigra or Tigra, and Brad told me obviously that it's pronounced Tigra because that's how it's pronounced. And now he's trolling me. Well, Tigra, otherwise known as Greer Nelson. Is that correct? Greer
Yep.
Nelson? Okay.
Mhm.
Her defensive stats are 4 physical, 3 energy, and 4 mystic. She has 6 stamina on both sides of her card. She is a 4 threat model, size 2, and a long mover on a small base. She is also affiliated with the Avengers and the Defenders affiliations. All right, Brad, why don't you do her attacks?
Her first attack is a physical attack called Feline Slash. It is range 3, 5 dice, cost 0. After this attack is resolved, this character gains power equal to damage dealt, a wild pierce, and a wild hit hex. After the attack is resolved, they gain hex. Her second physical attack is called Sorry, No Autographs. It is range 3, 7 dice, cost 3. After attack is resolved, place this character within 3 of itself. And Wild Stagger after the attack is resolved.
Okay, hey Daniel, why don't you read the next 2 superpowers?
Okay, so she has an active superpower called Ambush Predator. You can spend 3 power. Throw this character medium, does not suffer damage when colliding with another character or terrain feature. If this character began the throw overlapping a terrain feature with a size larger than itself and ends the throw no longer overlapping it, this character counts as size 3 when it is determined collision damage. This superpower can only be used once per turn. And then she has a reactive, mess with the cat and you get the claws. That costs 2 power. After an attack targeting this character is resolved, if the attacker is within 3, this character may use this superpower. Roll 4 dice. The attacker suffers 1 damage for each crit and wild. Nice little counter attack there.
Yeah, and Brandon, why don't you finish out the card?
Empathetic Aura. Other allied characters within 2 may reroll 1 die on their defense rolls. And on the prowl, while this character is within 1 of a terrain feature of size 2 or more, this character gains the stealth superpower. And then she has superior agility. Enemy characters cannot reroll or modify attack dice when targeting this character with attacks.
Okay. Hey Daniel, let's start with you. What are your first thoughts here on Tigra? What do you think when you read this?
Well, the first thing I always look at is that I love a long mover. Being a Web Warriors player, I like when characters are mobile. But then the next thing I notice is that she's like really mobile. So
Yeah.
between Sorry No Autographs having a place within 3 and then Ambush Predator throwing herself medium, she seems like she could be both good at running away with extracts because that's one of my favorite moves. I like to take my toys and go home. But since they're both also attached to things that are a little bit aggressive, right? Her place is attached to an attack, and then her throwing herself it's essentially like Black Panther's pounce, but better because it forces a collision. And it's range medium, and it can be bigger size if she's on top of something. It seems insane. So it helps her chase down while also forcing a collision that can push damage. So she's kind of versatile in that she both runs away with things and then runs down people who have things.
I love how mobile she is. She's so
Yeah.
she's so mobile. Brad, what do you think here about Tigra? What do you have going on?
I think Daniel hit on something very good there. I think she is very good at chasing down those people that run away. Like that seems like a good spot for her. Like she could attack someone with her spender and stagger that person and teleport 3 away and then go after someone who ran away, or she could move long and attack from 3 away, throw herself no she didn't yeah throw herself into them. Like she has got a lot of different vectors for getting out of one fight and chase someone down, and I really like that. She also like kind of buffs those around her. She gives other people a defensive reroll, but then if you attack
Mhm.
her, she can like hit you back. So it's kind of a damned if you do, damned if you don't. Like you can attack her friends who get rerolls, or you can attack her and she might hit you back. You also can't modify against her, which is pretty bad. Like
Yeah, interestingly, with her giving out Hex, she's kind of like has a build your own Black Cat sort of thing where
yeah,
suddenly you
yeah,
don't explode the crits, and also you already weren't modifying dice.
Right.
yeah.
uh,
She's
oh,
way
go ahead.
better at a fight than Black Cat though. Like
Oh
Oh,
man,
yeah.
no question.
yeah.
Okay, so there's something about Tigra that I want to. There's something that really bothers me, and it's not big. It's not a major problem, but there is a superpower that she does not have that I feel like she should have, and it is Wall Crawler. And
Mm.
that means that every time you're trying to power up her ambush predator uh, self throw, you have to climb. You have to
Yeah.
be on
That's
top
true.
of something. That's it's not a big deal, and you can obviously still use ambush predator even without doing that. It's just to really benefit from it, to use that special little extra damage that you can sneak in. You have to climb beforehand, so it's just a
Yeah.
little annoying. I mean, there are plenty of ways to place. Like if you play her in Midnight Suns, you can bump on top of things, but yeah, that's
Well,
just a little pet peeve of mine that she's not wall crawler.
yeah, and if you have a billion power, you could Sorry No Autographs, place within 3 on top of a thing, and then jump right back down onto the person. That's an
That's
option,
true.
not a consistent
That's
one, but
true.
something you can do.
It's only
Yeah,
6
yeah.
power.
That is.
It's only, yeah, I mean,
Hey, it'll be worth it. You get a 7 dice attack followed by a size 3 collision.
yeah. And also, you maybe staggered them.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, I skipped Brandon. What are your thoughts here on Tigra?
I hate that they use different versions of Tiger on the front and the back of the card.
Those are different versions.
What do you
Okay.
mean?
That is not the same character on the front
It
and the back of the card.
is.
I don't. It is
It
It's the
looks
100%
same
pretty
character.
similar
It's
to
not the
me.
same. It is. They're drastic different. The same artist did not draw both of those. I refuse to believe it.
I don't even
There's
know what
way
you're seeing.
The same
Like,
artist is credited on both sides. It is the same artist.
and
There's way
she
too much of
looks
a discrepancy
very
in the
similar.
face. The face
I
is way
don't
too
even see
different.
what you're seeing.
The nose is way different. The eyes are different. I don't like it. I'm not a fan.
I guess
I,
I'm picking up on the nose is sort of turned down and turned up in one photo on the other, but I think it's just because she's looking down in the first one.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
looking down in the first one and not so much in the second one.
She's
She's more
she's sort
heavy.
of flaring her nostrils in the second one.
Yeah.
that's all I got because Fred stole my thunder here.
Oh, I did your thing. Sorry.
That's good. I think she does good things. I do think you're really mostly trying to do her spender into the spender and ambush predator, and she'll be a 4 threat kind of like extract runner. I think is probably the goal. But I wish there wasn't a wild trigger on Sorry No Autographs. But
Why? I mean, as if it wasn't already good enough.
I don't
I mean,
hate
I
wild
think
triggers.
okay.
Just
You-
let it be honest dagger. Yeah. No,
You're too,
everything
you're
else
too
she
used
does.
to Black Cat. You're too used to Black Cat.
It's my baby. She does the things for me.
She's horrible.
No, I mean,
You should not play her.
I
Black
disagree.
Cat.
She's
not
great.
not Tigra. Tigra's great. Play her.
Yeah, I do like they did a lot of things on this card. I like a lot like the specifics on Ambush Predator, the specifics on the Prowl. Um, I just like the additions that gives her a lot of unique things that we hadn't seen in this game until recently.
Okay. Yeah, there's some cool stuff on. I really like some of the. It still shows that they can play in the design space and come up with a really good result. Like this feels like a cat. It feels like a cat. She can pounce on you and it'll hurt. If she pounces from above, it's even more. It's really a well-designed Tigra.
Yeah, I'm curious on that second part of Ambush Predator and how much that's ever going to come up. Um,
It's just a nice to have.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a pounce that has a cool little extra effect.
Yeah, I think it's cool. Yeah, it's kind of what I was getting at. I think it's cool. I'm curious if it'll ever be relevant, but I feel like the couple times it is relevant will make it feel that much better.
yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, there are several tactics cards that we should discuss when discussing Tigra. The first one is a tactics card called the Nightlife. We should. This one is this not an official release?
Nope.
Like, should
It
we
got
not talk about?
spoiled. No, we should
It got
talk about it.
spoiled.
We always talk about
Okay.
the
Yeah.
leaks. Come on, Fred.
Well, it is an unaffiliated reactive tactics card. At the start of an allied Moon Knight's activation, before rolling a die for Moon Knight's multiple personalities superpower, if it is within range 3 of... Oh, no! I moved away from it. Range 3 of an allied Tigra, they may each spend 1 power to play this card. Do not roll a die for Moon Knight's multiple personalities superpower this activation. Instead, choose 1 multiple personalities effect to resolve, then place Tigra within range 2 of her current position. So this is how you fix multiple personalities so that it's reliable, as opposed to me, who I would say 9 times out of 10 rolls a skull. But how many times have I said the words? I've played a lot of Moon Knight. How many times have I said the words, if I roll a crit, I will have a completely different activation than otherwise? I've said it a lot. And I never roll a crit, but the very few times that it happens, Moon Knight has a completely different turn because he can be anywhere he wants to be. It's such an effective multiple personalities thing. That being said, this card, while being fun, I don't think it's ever going to see the table. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that you play this card
I think if you play
competitively?
these two characters or plan to play these two characters, this card's worth playing.
Yeah.
For 1 power across 2 models, you get an extra action and a place. That's better than a lot of cards.
While that's true, I mean,
Better than a lot
I
of
guess
cards that
it'll be in
require 2
Defenders.
characters.
It'll be in Defenders,
Could
so
be
that
anywhere.
means you're not picking. Well, true.
So if you play the real theory on this card is that you could play these both under like Dracula or a model that doesn't have a ton of tactics cards, like an affiliation that
Okay.
um like those affiliations where you can play any model and you can play both of these models. And both of these models do a lot of really good things, bring a lot of things to the table um, at 7 total threat. And you don't have to be super close. Like 3 isn't the end of the world close. Both of these models get a lot better at the range 3 mark. Or like even you can use it early with Moon Knight and guarantee an extra die on his um, the extra the extra die
On
on
his throwing
his
crescent. Yeah.
Mhm.
well no on his reroll all number.
Oh, his bow staff. Okay.
Yeah, so like if you say you on turn 1 you could I mean obviously like Happy World, but you can get if you pick up a hammer and then you can do this to make sure you get the extra 2 dice to the attack roll. Now you're rolling 7 dice on both staff and you get to reroll any number. You can then place Tigra off of it. Like
And
those
Tigra
aren't
can place
unre
herself on top of a building so she can hop off later.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
like it's
that's
not
something you could
unrealistic.
do.
There's not a lot of unrealistic things. I mean, you have to be playing both of these models. I don't think you play this. You don't play both of these models to play this card, but I think both of these models are playable enough to play the card.
Yeah, I can think of like a lot of. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, you go ahead. You go ahead.
I was gonna say I can think of a lot of interesting things that you could do with this. I'm just not sure what list you are playing both of these characters in and this card trying to do those things. But like kind of what we were mentioning earlier with Tigra being both good at chasing down extracts and running away from them or running away with them. Like you could, at the start of Moon Knight's turn, you do this, you get the extra movement with him so that he can double attack, but then you're also placing Tigra up further so that she can also get more attacks off into somebody, or the opposite where you're getting the extra movement with Moon Knight to move him further away and then also moving Tigra further away before her activation. So like I think those are interesting things you could do with them, but I'm not like you said, you're playing them in Defenders or in like I don't know, Dracula or something like that, where I don't think that's ever really the game plan. So I can see why you would want to use it, just not where.
That's where I'm at. I feel like this is a cool effect. I'm not saying it's a bad effect at all. I just really don't think that it's taking up a tactics card slot.
Yeah.
That's the problem, is that it's competing with all the other tactics cards in the game, and this effect is not going to win you a game. I mean, it'll be nice, it'll be real good, but I don't think that this is going to be. This isn't. I think Recalibration Matrix is probably a lot more playable than this. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously.
So is Brace for Impact. Okay, like what are you doing here, Fred? Like you could at least try to make a card like you could at least give it a card that's like affiliated to a character. You're like, maybe the second best card in the entire
I
game
think
is
Street
better than this.
Smarts is better than this. Street
Yeah,
Smarts.
it's like a lot of the generic Defender cards you're probably running over this simply because if you're running both of them in Defenders, are you really counting on playing them both of them at the same time that often and also wanting this card in that scenario?
Right.
I would also imagine this was probably designed around the same time as like all the Defenders cards came out, because before those cards came out, Defenders had nothing
Yeah, that's
as
true.
far as cards wise. So there was a time not too long ago that this card would have probably seen a decent amount of play in Defenders, but we did get a pack of Defenders cards.
I mean, okay, so but all this being said, this is one of those cards that I think would be a ton of fun to play in a less competitive event.
Nah,
Like this
I'm
good
gonna
card.
beat Fred in a tournament with this card.
Well, I think that you are going to beat me in a tournament, and this card will be in your roster. I don't think it's gonna matter. You will beat me probably.
I do one thing I will say, when we don't have to keep. I don't have to. I won't talk anymore about this card. I do think Defenders have a really good scenario roster where they can play kind of wide, very Web Warrior-ish, with some really good models when this pack comes out.
Okay. Yeah, I think you're probably right. Brad, you have not said anything about this card. Is there anything you want to weigh in with?
This card looks fun. Play it in casual games.
Yeah, play it in a league.
Yeah,
Or beat
exactly.
Fred in a tournament with it.
All right. Well, the next tactics card that is associated with Tigra, gosh darn it, I did it. That was
It's
gosh
called
darn it.
Totem of the Tiger God. It's an unaffiliated active card. During her activation, Tigra may spend 2 power to play this card. When Tigra targets an enemy character with an attack this round, she may change the attack's type to Mystic. Additionally, when Tigra deals damage to an enemy character with a feline/attack this round, after the attack is resolved, Tigra may place herself within 2 of her current position.
There's another place effect, man. So her whole thing is place herself on top of buildings.
Yeah, I guess so. She wasn't mobile enough. Her long range, or her long move, plus her throw herself, plus her place within 3 after an attack wasn't enough for her.
Right. Right.
She's the personification of House of Pain.
All right. So, what do we think about Totem of the Tiger God? It's nice that it'll turn it into Mystic. That's nice. And then she can place herself. She does damage. That's nice. That costs 2 power. Okay, it's not too expensive for that effect.
I mean, 2 power to get a weakness, attack, and a place is maybe good enough.
Yeah. Listen. This card is fine. It's good. It's not blowing my skirt up at all.
It kind of gives her
I
like
think
an extra attack one time. Like it gives her a like third attack for one time a game. Like as an attack card, if you would use this as like an attack card, it's probably one of the better attack cards.
Hold on. I'm sorry. Does this doesn't give her an attack? I mean,
It
it
changes her
doesn't give
attack to Mystic, so it's like she's
There you
getting
go.
a new attack. So that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying. If you look at this like it's an attack card, it's one of the best ones probably because most of those are dog water.
well, you're right about that. But
yeah.
I mean, you're comparing it to all the worst cards in the game instead of to the best.
Yeah,
Like,
we're trying to be positive here, Fred.
what is this world that we're in right now? I'm usually the person in your seat. Why are we
Yeah,
talking like
I don't know what's happened, and I don't like it. So you're gonna have to get your shit together.
Well, Daniel, what do you think about this?
I like Brandon's point about it basically being an extra attack card, and so if you think Tigra is good enough to be kind of a focal point of one of your rosters, then you probably do want this as like your 9th or 10th card because then she can kind of, if you're running into like Web Warriors who aren't very good against Mystic or something like that, this would be a nice sort of finishing card if she's a big part of your game plan, especially as we keep mentioning she's good at chasing down people who have extracts. So I could see it having utility there, but I don't see a ton of upside where you're going to bring it very often. It'll probably just sit in your roster as your 9th or 10th card.
That's probably where I am. Like, I feel like this is the card that I have with me, and it's just never on the table.
Yeah.
I mean, you did bring up a good point where if I'm up against Web Warriors, I probably do grab this card. This card, like, Web Warriors is the case, but you would see Web Warriors frequently enough that this card would see the table.
Yeah.
Oh,
Brad,
I'm back to being pessimistic. I don't know if defenders need a card to be good against Web Warriors. With characters like Chosen Abast, Blade, Doctor Strange, Elsa, like their list of models that they have access to, I don't think they need additional help against Web Warriors.
Brandon, I am going to get whiplash. Calm down. All right, Brad, what do you think about this? You haven't spoken yet.
This is a fun card. Played in casual games.
Yeah. Thank you, Brad. Is that the exact same phrase that you said for the last one? Did you say the exact same thing?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I think you said the exact same words. All right, well, that's
Can I make a counterpoint to Brandon real quick though?
yes.
Ready.
So I think if you're running Tigra, you're probably running her in Daredevil's Defenders, and I feel like you probably run fewer Mystic characters in there, so it has a little more playable upside there, versus your versions of Defenders that are going to have more of those Mystic attackers. So I think you do see it pop up, but you're right, Defenders does have a lot of access to Mystics, so it's probably a smaller percentage than I was letting on originally.
Yeah, I think it's still probably good enough. Defenders are a very deep roster. characters not mentioned: Magic, Man Thing, Moon Knight, Shang-Chi,
Yeah, yeah.
Namor. Like the roster is super deep. I I mean, I'm gonna beat Fred with both of these cards in a tournament. I want to make a point out of it. I'm gonna only play 2 tactics cards the entire game, and it's gonna be these 2 cards.
Oh God, and he will win. All right, well, uh, we need to give Tigra a letter grade. All right, so I think she's got a ton of tools in her kit. She's a fast, very mobile hitting machine. I really like Tigra. I I could see myself. I don't know if I splash her anywhere, but I think that she's really good in her affiliations, and I want to give her. I'm gonna give her a B plus, and I feel like I'm too harsh on her. Maybe she should be an A minus. I'm gonna give her an A minus. That's where I'm at. All right, Brad, where are you at with Tigra?
B.
B. Okay.
Just a
Okay.
B.
Daniel.
I think I would be at more of a B plus, but the sort of elephant in the room we haven't talked about is her 2 affiliations are Defenders and Avengers, so the same things that Shang-Chi is affiliated with.
Ah. Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
is so it makes it tough. So if you're not splashing her anywhere, are you consistently playing her above the most splashable character in the game? Maybe not. But she does have a pretty unique skill set, so I think she's gonna be one of those characters who has a lot of utility. But because again, in the same affiliation as Shang-Chi, I'm gonna go from B plus to just a flat B probably.
I mean, you brought up a fantastic point. And Brandon, where are you with Tigra?
I think the character comparison is you're probably looking at lists that are splashing Spider-Woman, and those lists would probably want to look at Tigra. I don't. I agree with Daniel. I think it's going to be more of a spot. Besides when I beat Fred in a tournament with her, I'm not sure where she makes a roster at a 4th threat is such a deep position. Like even just in, like I don't even have to go to the vendors. Like just in defenders, the 4 threats that she's fighting against are. I mean that it's tough. Like I don't. I just you're gonna have to want to bring a niche 4 threat that's situational, and I don't know how often you're gonna want to do that when you're not because I think when you're at that 9-10 spot in your roster, you're not just going against models in your affiliation because both your cards are unaffiliated, but there's not a ton of like the defenders cards don't need defenders characters um, as much, and you probably already have a good core of those characters. So like you're not fighting against like Shang-Chi, like you're fighting against every 4 threat really in the game, and I don't know if she holds up all that well. She'll probably be a forgotten about character after I beat Fred with her in a tournament. Um, but I think I'm at a solid. I'm it's like a I think B is healthy for her. I think B minus is probably where I would land just because I don't think she sees any play in Avengers. Um, I do like her in Steve 1, making her power economy a little bit better.
Who don't we like in Steve 1?
Yeah, I think that's the problem. Like that's probably her best plays because I don't know if she fits in either defender's leadership, and like
I think she
I don't
fits in
know.
Daredevil because you're incentivized to have everyone close for your offensive rerolls for him, and then her giving the defensive rerolls can give you some utility. And
I don't think
then
she wants to be close is the problem.
that's fair. I mean, other allied characters within 2 get to reroll the defense rolls, so like, I don't know. You want to be close to your friends at least. I think she does.
Yeah, but she's not probably going to benefit too much from the affiliation leadership because you have to be within 2.
Yeah.
So it's tricky.
Throwing herself into people.
Yeah, I feel like she wants to throw and then run.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, like I said, she may be niche, but like I said, I think you're in that fight with like the Spider Woman's, and I think Spider Woman probably does a little bit more.
I think so
It-
too.
I think it depends on why you're running Spider Woman. Like if you're running for the Spider Woman for the steal, obviously, but I do think Tigra is slightly more mobile. But I mean that's really the only advantage she has over Spider Woman. One thing I will say though that is to her advantage in Avengers is since Avengers has such a deep roster, you can build these sort of more niche play styles around them. And so if you're running if you want to run like a really crazy like scenario and extract running list, she would fit into that. If you're doing that in Avengers, there's just probably better things to do in Avengers.
Yeah. Yeah, I also the situational stealth I feel like is potentially problematic on Tigra in comparison to some other models. I kind of just wish she
Yeah,
had stealth all the
it's
time. I think it's a cool ability, but I think it's probably I mean it's just way worse than actual stealth.
yeah. I think they
Yeah.
gave her pretty solid defensive stats. So then all of her like defensive tech is it's kind of like situational and probably not going to turn on very often.
I
Yeah.
mean, when she's jumped up onto a building, she'll have that stealth.
Yeah, that's
That'll
true.
be nice. Yeah.
I feel like when you jump up onto a building, you're immediately jumping off onto somebody.
Yeah, I mean, you're right, but hey, I've got to say it.
I think she's gonna get a lot of buildings thrown into her, is what I think's gonna
Yeah, well,
happen.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think she's gonna get hit. She's gonna be on buildings, and she's gonna get hit with a lot of buildings. I think like, if you want to play, she's gonna be in that class of characters. That is, if you want to play this character, play the character, and you're not gonna be like worse off for it.
Yeah.
Like most force in the game.
Yeah, that's pretty much how fours exist anymore. Is
Yeah.
as long
I
as
think
if
that's
you want
most
to play,
characters of the game.
I think you're right. And hey, you know what? Ultimately, that means that the game is in a pretty good spot, I
Yeah.
think. Because that means
Look,
that you can play the characters you like.
I'll stand on my soapbox all day about how hardly anyone in this game is actually unplayable. Like again, I played Cyclops in Apocalypse down a horseman, and I won that game. Like you just do things for fun, and you're gonna do well.
you can play Crossbones one and all you want.
Actually, I have had bad experiences with Crossbones One. Don't play him.
Yeah. Okay, good.
Forget
I'm glad
everything I
there's a
just said
limit
about
to
every
this.
character being playable. Crossbones One is awful.
Crossbones one and
All right.
Sin are a real hard to convince anybody of. I think.
It looks. One of my most fun games ever was with Sin's leadership, so I resent that.
And apparently there's a guy who did this was almost a year ago, isn't it? The guy who did okay in a tournament with Sin as the leader.
And it wasn't a small
I don't
tournament.
even
It was
remember.
at LVO.
Yeah, was that
But
LFO?
it was a while ago. It was last
Yeah.
year. All right. Well, Brad, that's it
Yes.
for our discussion on Tigra. Do you have any comic books that feature old Greer here? Greer.
I sure do. So I've got 3 recommendations today because her history's a little bit weird. So the first thing I want to recommend is Claws of the Cat 1 through 4 from 1972. And I normally say who like the writer and artist is and stuff, but each issue had a different team working on it. This was
Weird already.
Yeah, this was part of a push with this comic came out about her, and a couple others came out to like really push comics to girls. And this one got canceled after 4 issues. But Greer Grant marries a police officer named Bill Nelson, who then is very quickly killed in the first issue in an off-duty shooting. So she becomes a research assistant at her old college, and the research scientist she's working for is working on this like process to enhance the physical attributes of females, and she undergoes this experiment. And the other girl that undergoes the experiment dies, and so she takes the costume and gadgets that were meant for that girl and becomes the cat. And so she starts fighting crime. At this point, she looks completely normal human.
Okay.
She's in some other, like after the end of the series, they keep using the character in other stuff. And in 1974, so 2 years later, there's a comic called Giant Sized Creatures. And the giant sized in this title is talking about the size of the comic book. It was longer than normal, not the size of the creatures in the book. Uh,
Oh. What a bad name.
this is the era where they made the best comic of all time, giant sized man thing. Tony Isabella and Don Perlin, sorry, did this story in the comic. There are other people who worked on the other stories. This is the only important one. During the Dark Ages, some people used a spell to turn regular cats into cat people and start a whole race of cat people. They had a champion named Tigra. There's a lot that goes on with this that's told in the story, but we're going to move on to modern times. It is revealed that the research scientist that changed Greer Nelson's, changed her physical attributes to where she was smarter and stronger and faster and whatever, is one of those cat people.
Okay.
Hydra attacks him to try to get, I think it was a super virus formula from him that the cat people created, and she fights them off, but she's mortally wounded, and so the cat people turn her into Tigra, the half human, half cat savior of their people.
Okay, so there's another hidden people in this universe that are formerly cats.
Yeah, and the spell doesn't work anymore.
Okay, so
it's weird. They can't make new.
Oh boy.
They can't make cats into cat people. They can make new cat people the old-fashioned way.
Right. Right.
I guess the
So,
spell is the old-fashioned way this time, in the new-fashioned way.
I guess that in this case, MCP is really digging deep into the roster of Marvel characters.
Nope, not at all.
Not at all?
No.
Is Tigra big?
Oh, yeah. She goes on to be part of the Avengers, dates Moon Knight. She's obviously in the Defenders. Like, she's a big person in the comics. She's one of the instructors at Avengers Academy, where they train the next group of superheroes. This is not a stretch at all. Despite a rocky start, she is a big character.
Okay.
Big-ish character. Not like a Captain America. But before the
I
Avengers
have
movie, Captain America wasn't that much more famous than her. Was there a question?
Yeah, I had a question. Which Tigra is first?
What do you mean?
DC Tigra or Marvel Tigra?
There's a DC Tigra? Yeah. Who's the DC Tigra?
We have been derailed.
I'll address that. I don't know, with Brandon later, I guess. I don't know who that character is. In 2002,
He marries Darkseid.
What? Okay.
She marries Darkseid.
I think this character is older then. The Marvel
Okay.
one should be older, because of
I'll Google it and find
Anyway.
out. You continue.
In 2002, Tigra gets her own miniseries, 4 issues, written by Christina Z, and art by Mike Deodato Jr. And a group called the Brethren of the Blue Fist are handing out justice as they see fit in New York City. Just not going through the proper channels, just like beating people up, killing them, whatever. And only Tigra can stop them, but she has to go to the police academy and join the New York Police Department to do it. She becomes a cop to stop this group called the Brethren of the Blue Fists.
Who are all of these people? There's so many secret societies. There's so many
Well,
like hidden. The Marvel universe is everybody that you see is part of a secret society or something, or some
maybe.
brotherhood, or some hidden race of half cat people.
Yeah, that's what makes it fun, Fred.
Yeah. If our world was like that, it would be more fun.
It would be. You're right.
Yeah.
Okay, is that it, Brad?
Yeah, that was 3. But like I
All
said, she's
right,
appeared
thank
in
you.
a bunch of stuff. Like you could read about her all through time.
All right. Well, the only thing that's left is my non sequitur recommendation. I don't have anything. I'm just gonna say I've been playing Ghost of Yote. Everyone should play Ghost of Yote. It's fantastic. It's the follow up to Ghost of Tsushima, a very good samurai open world game, and this is it iterates on it exceptionally well. I really love it. It's very good.
Fred,
Uh,
how have you had time to play anything?
that is a great question, and it's basically all that I do. After a 12-hour shift, I go to the hotel and I play video games for about 2 hours, and then I go to sleep. And then I wake up and I do another 12-hour shift. It's been a long 2 weeks so far. But that is it for our show today. And I want to say special thank you to Daniel for joining us. You were great. You were an excellent addition to the podcast. Thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, so how about me replacing Brandon? Is that happening or?
Uh,
Hey, you know what?
I'll let
It
you vote
depends on
without me.
how
It's okay.
reliable Brandon is.
No, thank you
Uh,
guys for having me. It was a lot of fun.
and thank you to Brandon for being here. It is always nice to have you here.
You're welcome.
And thank you, everyone out there, for listening. I hope that everyone out there has a very good rest of their week. I hope that I get to go home soon. We will see. It's not a given. All right. Goodbye, everybody.